How about that for a Christmas break? The Vancouver Canucks have just defeated the San Jose Sharks 4-3 at Rogers Arena, and it feels kind of weird because right now it's 9 p.m. as I'm recording this post-game commentary. The game was in Vancouver, the game was here, Rogers Arena, everybody's going home, and it's only 9. The fact that this was a 6 p.m. start time and not a 7 or a 7:15 p.m. start time was very intriguing, but I guess for the sake of pushing things a little bit earlier due to the holidays, it makes sense. I wanted to talk about this game and the broadcast first, before we dive into the actual events of what took place on the ice, because this game was set up and broadcasted on Amazon Prime. It was an exclusive to Amazon Prime. You couldn't watch this game on Sportsnet or CBC or anything, and I gotta say, something about the Prime Video on Demand streaming service that they have, allowing these games to be broadcasted in 4K, it is a very noticeable difference versus when you're watching the game on cable TV on Sportsnet Pacific. Also the fact that, admittedly, some of the Shaw boxes around here have been kind of funky the past few months. There are some glitches and some pixelated spots, and maybe once in a while the game will kind of blur itself out a little bit. It's definitely not the most cohesive viewing experience, but the Amazon broadcast, not only was the commentary team pretty good, but the actual video quality itself was awesome. Not to mention the camera angles and the mixing, the production work, it was all top tier. What I liked about this Amazon broadcast was the fact that they actually boosted up the quality of the audio in the crowd, so you could hear a lot of the announcements and the crowd noise and the guy who stands in the crowd banging the drum, trying to get everybody hyped up. That was very audible from today's broadcast. That's something that the Sportsnet crew has actively tuned down in their recent broadcasts, and I did like the commentary style of the program too. It wasn't really like super diehard. I feel like a lot of the commentary points that they made were very good points if you're just kind of learning about the game or you're learning about the players. For all of us Canucks fans who are diehards and who have been listening to Shorthouse talk the entire time, we don't really need to hear about how Niels Höglander has gone so many games without a point because they talk about it all the time on the radio. We don't really need to hear that Macklin Celebrini is from North Van over and over. We don't really need to hear about Tyler Toffoli's path to San Jose. We don't need to hear about how Vinny Desharnais is tall, and we don't need like a 2 to 3 minute diatribe about how Quinn Hughes is good. These are all things that we all kind of recognize and are familiar with already, but if you're just a random guy living in Saskatchewan who's trying to watch the hockey game on Amazon Prime, it's a good introductory lesson to learn about who's playing and what storylines there are to follow. So it was a very good introductory kind of thing. Ultimately, though, I am interested in hearing John Shorthouse's voice once again. No disrespect, of course, to the Amazon Prime folks. And of course, if you don't have Prime, then it becomes a lot more difficult to watch it too. But still, the Vancouver Canucks won this game 4-3, and the biggest storyline about it is ELIAS Pettersson. Let's skip over just the general consensus about the game itself and talk about Petey because, wow, ELIAS Pettersson came alive today. You can say, is he back? Is this fully what we had expected out of him in years prior? Well, we saw maybe a glimpse or two of that in the second period, but in the third period, ELIAS Pettersson ended up not playing the majority of the frame, which sparked a lot of concern about it. Let's get into the goals, and then we'll dive more into ELIAS Pettersson because the opening goal of this game was scored by William Eklund on the power play. It was a 5-on-3 because Carson Ceci firstly got taken out for holding against Alexander Wenberg, and then just about a minute later, you had Derek Forbort who tripped up William Eklund. Eklund also had to leave this game. He got shaken up by a really big hit by Tyler Myers. Ultimately, though, he gets the game going with the first goal of the entire contest. The Sharks are running a 5-forward power play. It's a very interesting setup. They've got William Eklund out there, Granlund, Celebrini, Toffoli, and I think Wenberg was the last guy, I'm pretty sure. But honestly, I haven't really ever seen the 5-forward power play unit before, so it was very interesting to note the San Jose Sharks' usage of that strategy. But William Eklund gets the one-timer on the right side. It's a clean shot. It beats Demko. Really good shot out of Eklund there. He had to leave the game, unfortunately, but he does walk away with a goal. Celebrini and Granlund get the assist here, so shout out to me for benching Macklin Celebrini over some of the other guys that I have. He had 2 points today. Mikhail Granlund, though, I did actually have him active on some of my other leagues, so I'm very happy about that. Quickly responding, though, is Brock Boeser. It's Quinn Hughes who drives the puck into the San Jose zone. He comes down to left side and throws it towards the goal. A very intentional play. You have Brock Boeser with a stick on the ice. He tips it by Yaroslav Askarov, and it's a 1-1 hockey game heading into the second period. Now, there were a whole bunch of other things that went on in this game, too. Some fights here and there. Tyler Myers against Goudreau. You had Ty Dellandrea and Danton Heinen also fighting in the second period. There were a lot of physical altercations in this one, but the Canucks ultimately take advantage with 4 minutes to go in the second period with an out-of-nowhere goal scored by Kiefer Sherwood. The Canucks take advantage off of a misplay in front of the San Jose bench. Blueger goes over to Sherwood, who's got some space. He walks right in. He shoots a long one from beyond the faceoff dot, and he buries it by Askarov. Assists go out to Blueger and Höglander, so Höglander finally gets himself a point after however long it's been. The guy has not been productive at all, so good to see him getting himself back out there on the board. And then we had ourselves Pettersson. This is where things started to go very well because the Canucks, on yet another San Jose turnover, force the puck over to EP40. He comes in over the blue line, centers it out to DeBrusk. He takes a shot. It's stopped by Askarov, and the rebound, ELIAS Pettersson is there to put it in the back of the net. That goal takes place just 30-something seconds after the Kiefer Sherwood goal. Pettersson's 9th on the year, assisted by DeBrusk and Garland. There was a challenge for goaltender interference, which I didn't think the San Jose Sharks would win. They were talking on the broadcast about the sticks because Yaroslav Askarov's stick was kind of tangled up with Garland's stick. But honestly, if you rewatch it, Askarov kind of insinuated the contact himself, so no goalie interference is the call there. The Canucks get themselves a power play, and whilst on the power play, JT Miller gets tripped. So the Canucks go on a 5-on-3, and this is where we see EP magic once again. Miller goes over to Pettersson, who has to pick the puck up on the right side. He then has oodles and oodles of time and space as he holds it on his forehand, walks right into the dot, and rips it top corner on Askarov. It is no screen, no tip, no whatever. It is just a shooter beating a goalie, and that was pure BDE status exhibited by Pettersson on that goal. And I mean, look, PD, the Let's Go PD chants were chanting down in Rogers Arena. You could hear it from all over. Pettersson himself looked happy. He finally cracked a smile. He celebrated with the Canucks. He didn't really celebrate with Miller all too much, even though Miller got the primary assist on the goal there. But Vancouver ultimately takes a 4-1 lead in the second period here. I saw a lot of people as well. There were some people saying, hey, why does Pettersson look like yellow? Like, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I did notice as well that the hue on Pettersson's face was a little bit miscolored from what we normally see. I don't know if that's like the Amazon Prime video color correction crew going out there and doing Pettersson dirty, but there were some people asking, hey, is he like okay? Is he good? What's going on here? And that speculation just kind of became even more of a talking point when Pettersson did not suit up in the third period. He had one shift in the third, and that was it. He played for 45 seconds and ended up piecing out of the game. The San Jose Sharks scored 2 in the third period. Firstly, it was Cody Ceci. Haha, yeah, imagine that. Cody Ceci scoring a goal in the Game 7 against Vancouver. How crazy is that, right? Yeah, no, still not over Edmonton, to be honest. But Cody Ceci scored a goal. It was a slap shot from far out. Thatcher Demko had the 5-hole covered up, but he opened it up for a split second, which allowed the puck to squeak in. And then with 6 seconds to go, you had Luke Kunin scoring to make it 4-3. It was an empty net situation by the Sharks. They were hounding it with 6 forwards too, I'm pretty sure. Macklin Celebrini looked amazing in this game, and he set up this Kunin goal with a primary assist, a low shot rebound, one-time opportunity set up by Tyler Toffoli. He finds Celebrini on the right side, one-time bomb, it's saved by Demko, rebound out to Kunin on the right side, and that is a goal every day of the week. Celebrini looked amazing in this game. He gets 2 points. Big shout out to me for benching him today in fantasy, and big shout out to ELIAS Pettersson for finally getting back on the board. Hopefully, if there's some sort of an illness, he's able to recover properly before the games come back at the end of the week. But for now, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Amazon's take on the Vancouver Canucks, a 4-3 victory against the San Jose Sharks, where we see ELIAS Pettersson get 2 goals and look like his vintage self. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.